Hey, how's it going, guys? So this is the first actual video in the new format. Today, I just really wanted to talk about what I brought with me tech-wise on a 1.5 week trip, international trip. In my case, it was to Korea, but the items would have pretty much stayed the same regardless of where I went. So that all said, let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is an item that most people probably carry, and that's going to be my phone. This is a Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. I like to stay connected, and I was traveling by myself, and mainly for medical purposes. So being able to keep in touch with loved ones and whatnot while I'm out and about, making sure everything's all good on my end, just letting them know that everything's going fine is important. So, gotta bring my phone for that. That said, the perfect companion to go with that are the Samsung earbuds. So I actually brought both of these for different reasons. And so just to go over things really quick, these are the Galaxy Buds 2. These, when I bought them, were around 100 Canadian dollars, very affordable set of earbuds that work really well with Samsung phones. I'm not sure what the experience with a normal Android phone is, but these are pretty much standard wireless earbuds where they seal against your ear. These have spin fit ear tips, so the tips are a lot softer, a bit thinner as well, and just create a very comfortable fit. Whereas these are the Galaxy Buds Live, and they're very binaural, but they don't seal in your ear at all. So that's really the main differentiating point for me in terms of when will I use one product over the other. The Galaxy Buds 2 I'll primarily use when I'm on, say, transit or an airplane, really just in a consistently loud environment, whereas something like the Galaxy Buds Live I'll use for my day-to-day, like when I'm at a mall or just walking around town, things like that. Because I don't know if this is a common thing, really. I really don't think it is from talking with my friends, but if I can't hear my surroundings and it does feel like there is a lot going on around me, I get like really panicky, anxious, and it makes it difficult for me to breathe. I've experienced that for years, and so being able to hear my environment is really key for me to be comfortable, right? So in the case of an airplane or something like that, these aren't going to block out all the noise. You're going to get a much quieter version of that noise, whereas these will be basically completely open. A big perk of the Galaxy Buds 2 over the Live as well is that this has ANC. Technically, both of them have ANC, but the ANC on these is basically pointless because they're open by nature. It's like if normal AirPods had ANC. So, right, doesn't really make sense. But yeah, brought both of these for different reasons. For the most part, I do use my Galaxy Buds Live, but these are very useful in certain situations. On the topic of audio, I did also bring my Critical Truthier ones. I believe that's what these are called. And these are just some IEMs. They're pretty affordable. I think in Canadian dollars, they're around 50 bucks. And they sound pretty decent. And basically, their frequency response curve is very similar to what I personally prefer. This is a wired option, right? It's always good to have backups because batteries run out. This doesn't, unless if it somehow breaks. I just don't like cable spaghetti, but that's my fault. But yeah, gotta have a wired option because of the device I'm gonna pull up next. That item being my Nintendo Switch. And so you can use a Bluetooth for audio. I am aware of that. But I do like to play rhythm games, so I do like having that wired connection. So, right, this is just a great thing to bring along with you if you have it because, gotta stay entertained, especially if you're doing a long flight. In my case, it was like, I think 10 hours coming back, but 12, 13 hours going there. So right? Nice to have something to keep you occupied, especially if you're someone who has trouble sleeping on planes like myself. But these Joy-Cons are actually the Toyoki Slim controllers. At the time of my trip, I actually had the Ori split pad compacts, but I switched them over for these because, I don't know, just more functionality. They're wireless, they work wirelessly, and they actually fit really well on the Switch where there's like no wiggle, which is amazing. But yeah, these have gyro and wireless functionality, which is huge because I was playing Breath of the Wild at the time, and the Hori Split Pad compacts don't have gyro, and so I couldn't do a shrine until I got home. So that really sucked, and it's what led me to getting these. They're very similar to the Nixie controllers or the Binbot controllers, but just in a slimmer form factor where these are pretty much stacked vertically rather than offset more like this. I have small hands, so it works out for me as well. With the Switch, I don't really trust putting this just in a bag loosely. I'm sure it would be fine for the most part since it's on a bag that I carried with me, but it's always good to be a bit safe, especially at the time I had just gotten the Switch. So yeah, gotta get a case. And this is the Mamba Plus case. And I got this because it specifically works with Hori split pad compacts as well as other smaller Joy-Con alternatives, which is huge because a lot of cases don't really work with them. And a big plus as well is this actually has a lot of height, right? So this pocket up top actually is usable. I find that on a lot of other cases, bags, this section tends to be very slim to the point where you really can't fit much. So there's that. It also does come with these two flaps for game cards. I don't have any physical games, so I didn't really have to use it. It also comes with this strap here. It's Velcro, don't want to undo that. So you can really hold your Switch in tight so it doesn't move around. I didn't really have any issue with that, so I just kind of threw it in, right? Fits well. If you also have the Hori split pad compacts, that'll fit pretty much exact. So really nice case for that. So these earbuds would typically go up in here, and everything would just fit and close just fine. But there's one other, I guess, accessory that I carried for primarily my Switch, but other things as well. That item being a battery bank, right? I think any kind of tech ed traveler will want to bring something like this. It's always nice to have one just in case. And this one has a display showing you your battery percentage. I don't get why this huge section has to be like this. And I've actually had to polish this screen once because it got so scratched up. But this one is by Safuel, and right, it says fast charging. It also has this kind of supposed phone stand thing, but it's not really functional. But the big benefit of this is that it has two USB-A ports and a USB-C port that both supports charging coming in and charging going out. I just bring a USB-C to C cable. I can use that to charge this device as well as use it to charge other devices because the Switch is USB-C, my phone is USB-C, earbuds are USB-C. So, right, it feels like a universal standard in this case with any kind of mobile devices. So yeah, that's a huge plus for me. That's fewer cables I have to bring with me, and this is all gonna tie in to my, I believe, last actual item. The last item being this Anker charger. This is one of their gallium nitride chargers. This is the Nano 2, and this is the 45-watt version. They also make a 30-watt version, which is just a little bit smaller than this, and I believe they also make a 60 or 65-watt version, which is a good chunk bigger, but I think it has multiple ports. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. It's been a while since I've bought this, but great thing, USB-C, so I can bring a USB-C to C cable and charge everything off of this. Quick, simple, easy. This is also quite small. This is an earbud case for comparison. So, it's quite small. The prongs also fold up, which is really nice because if you just chuck this into a bag, these can get bent. But when they're folded up, the chance of that is very, very small. So, just like having that feature. Of course, you don't have to get an Anker one specifically. A lot of companies make this, but I wanted to get the Anker one because it specifically states that it can charge a switch, which is nice to have. This charger can actually work with a docked switch, which is also a huge plus, because I'm not sure if any of you guys have seen where certain chargers may cause bricking of your switch if you're trying to use it docked. That's what I understand from it. It might be the docks themselves, but from what I understand, it's the chargers that are the main culprits. So this works for both. This is specifically the 45-watt version. If you get the 30-watt version, I believe it'll be functional, but you will be pushing its limits from what I understand. And the 65-watt charger was just overkill for me. It didn't make sense. It'd take up more space in my bag, so the 45-watt one was a good middle ground for me. Plus, again, comes with the benefit of charging everything. It can fast charge my phone, where I can charge it for maybe 10 minutes and have enough for a few hours. So, very handy thing to have. I don't think I would leave for a trip of any kind without bringing this with me. So just a couple things to go over. Of course, I did bring a USB-C to C cable for this, so I can actually connect this to my devices here. I will also mention that I did get Pocket Wi-Fi, which is a rental from typically the airport, of course, a company located in the airport, which is essentially a portable hotspot, portable internet hotspot that you can carry with you. It is battery powered, so you do have to charge it. And from what I understand, the companies will usually provide a charger for you. However, the devices were quite old, so they did still use micro USB. They do provide the charger and cable as well. However, the cable they provided me was basically nearing end of life. And so, that's just something to consider. You may want to bring another cable if you are doing something like that, or just go the SIM card route. I did actually need my normal SIM card with me, so unfortunately I couldn't do that. So if you do find yourself needing portable Wi-Fi, you might want to bring an extra cable just in case, because you do want to keep that charged up during the duration of your trip so you can stay connected. Anyways, that's really going to be everything that I brought with me on my trip to Korea. If you guys have any questions about anything that I've mentioned in this video, just leave me a comment down below. And as usual, I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.